Hi guys, Kev from KevLar Gaming here. So in this video we're going to be reviewing a budget power supply. We've got the Aerocool Cylon. I've got the 600 watt version here. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, we've got the Cylon range of power supplies from Aerocool. So I've got the 600 watt version here, but they do lower wattage and higher wattage versions as well. This particular one, 600 watt, price range from about 25 to 40 pounds. Kind of depends on where you get it from and when you get it. So I've actually bought a batch of these from Amazon fairly recently, I'd say in the last couple of months, because they went down to £24.98, something like that. Prior to that, I think I was buying them in the low 30s from eBuyer. I've seen them go up to about £40 sometimes. eBuyer have had them down in the past at under £30, I think, for the 600 watt. There's 500 watt definitely. But yeah, so price range, I'd say between 25 to 35 pounds is average. 25 pounds is an absolute bargain for it, especially for the 600 watt version. So let's have a closer look at it. Okay, so here we have the box. You can see on the front there that it's an 80 plus white rated power supply. Moving around the side, just got some notes there about what's in the contents in different languages. You may have noticed there's no English on there because that's all on the back there. So it's telling us we've got the soft black flat cables up to 85% efficiency. It's got optimized thermal fan speed control, and it's telling us there power outages and the cables included in the power supply. So the fact that it's 80 plus white rated, yes, that is the lowest of the 80 plus ratings, but it has a rating which is good. Any lower end or more budget power supplies are likely not to have an 80 plus rating at all. Right, let's get into the box and have a closer look. Okay, so starting off we have some instructions, well, not instructions, a safety notice, basically just telling you about making sure you've got the right wattage and output PSU that you need for your system. Okay, we have a power cable, then we have the power supply itself, and we have the 4 screws to screw the power supply into your case. Okay, let's have a closer look. Right, okay, so first of all, looking at it, you can see we've got the slots there with the fan inside. I think that's quite a neat design, rather than having your horrible mesh or something like that. It's quite rare to see nice slats like that. I think it's pretty neat, feels solid. Little logo in the middle there, nice neat black fan. Come to the back, it's obviously got the hexagonal vents there for the airflow to come out, which is good. On off switch, standard. Now at the side, I quite like the design at the side. It's nice and clean, looks neat and tidy, looks quite modern. Some cheaper power supplies, you might get a horrible white sticker there with all the stats, which we've got all the stats on the top there, telling us a bit more about the power supply. But sometimes I'll stick them on the side, and if you've got a case which is open at the bottom where you can see the power supply, it often looks a bit ugly. I mean, this is just a sticker, so they're quite easily peeled off actually if you don't even want that there. And then the other side, it's just plain. Okay, at the back got all the cables coming out, so it's a non-modular power supply, so you've got all the cables there. And what I really like about these cables, or about this power supply, is the cables. It's the nice flat design of the cables, nice plain black flat cable. Now I really hate that in even some of the more expensive power supplies where you get those horrible ketchup and mustard yellow and red cables in a horrible sort of sleeve, look really ugly. These are so neat and tidy. I think it looks really quite upmarket actually compared to the price of the product. They feel good quality, they bend nicely, so they're actually really good for cable management. So what cables have we got? Okay, we've obviously got the 24 pin motherboard power supply. Okay, what else have we got here? So we've got daisy chain here of SATA cables. So 3 SATA cables on one with a Molex as well. And we've actually got 2 of those. Here's the other one. So we've got enough for 6 SATA devices, 2 Molex. That's pretty much as you're really going to need. CPU, power, again splits into 2. So depending on your motherboard, whether you need 8 pins or 4 pins, and they actually slot together really nicely. And finally we've got our PCIe power. So this is a single cable with 2 8-pin power connectors at the end. They both split off into a 6 and a 2. Obviously if you've got a graphics card that only needs a 6-pin or maybe an 8-pin and a 6-pin, so you've got that option to split those off. Now I have done some research before about, are we losing something here by having just one cable with the 2 sockets on there? But really it's minimal. You don't gain much more from having 2 separate cables, so it's not a huge issue. Obviously if you're going with a really high-end RTX card, then you'd probably prefer to have the separate cables. But then if you're going that high end, then you're not likely to be buying a power supply like this. You'll be spending a bit more money on your power supply as well. Okay, so for me, I love the cables, nice and neat, nice and tidy. I probably should have said at the start, I've actually built probably over 20 PCs with this power supply. I've used the 600 and the 500 watts. The 500 watt version only comes with one 8-pin PCIe cable, so do bear that in mind if you're going for the 500 watt one. But yeah, great power supplies, never caused me any issues. Now one thing to note on the fan, it's actually really super quiet. It's a really nice quiet fan, never hear it making a noise. So I think as I said on the box, it said at the back it's got the optimal fan speed control, and yeah, I think that definitely works because it does stay nice and quiet. Yeah, so that's it really. There's not really much else I wanted to say about it, other than, in my view, this is probably one of the best budget power supplies. Like I say, for £25, which I'm getting these for at the moment, and the quality of the cables, the quietness of the fan, the fact I've had no issues with it at all over the amount of PCs I've used with this brand. In my view, for a budget PC build, you can't go wrong with this power supply. So I hope you found that useful, hope you enjoyed. Please do give us a like and subscribe for future videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!